Now we're going to talk about isolations. There are really two types of isolations. The first one is called a focal point isolation. What we're going to do is, if we have this shape right here, we're going to pick a point. Let's say the point is my thumb right here. That's going to be our focal point. And we're going to imagine a steel bar going through my fingers and coming out this way. And as we keep this focal point right here, we're going to rotate our hand around that bar. And so now we're going to move the focal point right here. It's right there, right? We're going to, again, keep our thumb placed on that focal point and then rotate our entire hand around that bar. And then if we do it one more time, we'll move the focal point to the bottom, rotate our entire hand, and keep that focal point right there where we placed it. And this is focal point isolation. Now, the other type of isolation is called a fingertip isolation. And so we're gonna remove that metal bar that's sticking through our hand, and we're gonna follow wherever that isolation point is. So if the isolation point is on top of my thumb, I am going to move everything so it hits that isolation point. And then it moves down here, and we're gonna move the entire hand so that it hits that isolation point. You can do this with any finger. So if you're walking up some stairs, your isolation point is right here. You keep that point there, and then you walk up. Now your isolation point is right here, and you walk up. And now your isolation point is here, walk up. These are fingertip isolations. Now, those isolations were on the XY plane, but you could also utilize the Z axis. And so if your finger is in this position here, imagine a wall just like going flat up right here. You can either push or you can pull to move your point around. And so here I'm going to push forward and my point is still in the same place. Then let's make a new isolation point right here. I'm gonna pull this finger out, and then I'm gonna pull the whole thing back. And then we could do one like this, pull the whole thing back. And now I'm like all up on my chest right now, but you get the point. So if we're all the way out here, I could totally just pull it in, and then I could make a new point here. I could push it in, pull it this way, pull it this way. There's so many different ways that you could take these isolations and just move them all along the grid. You can take these isolations and apply them anywhere with any fingers that you want. And so if you're doing impacts, you could ISO these, right? You could go up and down. You could go left to right. These are also ISOs. You can even do other fingers with these platform impact isolations. And so let's say you're like doing this stuff. You like go out here. You could like ISO that pointer finger, and then you could like bring it down, ISO it this way, go this way. There's so many different things that you could utilize with your isolations. And so I highly recommend that you practice your isolations, especially with your thumbs, if you want to utilize them in your impacts.